for that horrible radio show called Postcard from Poprad. And it's with... Who's it with? Lee Willie... No. Lee... Is it Lee Banks?
Yes.
Is it Lee Banks?
Yes.
Is it
It's
Lee?
me.
It's you.
It's me.
Is it really you?
We're on LoopTube.
Get on. Let's start it properly like we normally do.
Are we rolling? All right. Down we go.
This is Radio Tetris International, Postcard from
I
Poprad.
think it's a bizarre idea.
Well, it doesn't sound broken.
We've had a bit of a rewind.
Ian, I've got something to say. I was waiting for my moment.
Lee and I have lots of fun when we do these funny little things that we do.
In all honesty, I don't get
It'll
it.
be like a menage a trois.
I'm actually sitting here in my scanties.
Now see what you've done, Rachel.
I've got to tell you, though, it's pretty hilarious.
Oh, right.
Absolutely not. It's because you mended the studio and you broke everything.
What an idiot.
RTI.
And welcome to Postcard from Poprad on a sunny day. It's glorious here.
It is. Bit chilly.
It's a bit chilly. But there you go. We are now broadcast. I can't even remember how many places we're broadcasting. Can you turn the fan off, please?
I like the fan on.
I don't... Everybody can hear it.
Let's ask a public question. Can you...
Yes, I can. Anyway, welcome to tubers who are with us for the first time today, live on the radio. And welcome to, hysterically, Facebook. And a very warm welcome to all of the you-nowers, including Erin and the lovely Khan, who's sending kisses.
Are we really on RudeTube?
We're on RudeTube, yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, we're on YouTube. YouTube as well as everywhere else. If you're driving around in your car, apologies when we talk
Don't
about...
look at RudeTube.
No, don't do that. Actually, most cars are blocked from doing that, which is rather a good
Are
thing. Yeah. You can't have video on your screen when you're driving, the handbrake.
In the front. You could do it in the back.
Do it in the back, yeah.
And look through the back window.
But you can always listen on your car radio, as so many of you do. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
As we talk rabidly about all of our new camera systems and other such things. And Lee's worked out that if he waves his coffee cup about, he can get the camera to focus on him because it's all automatic. And then he takes the picture away from me.
It's not moving. You've fixed it.
I'll lean back for you. There you go.
Oh,
As I lean back, it takes a big picture of Lee. And if you're in your car, that's probably a good thing that you can't see at all.
Gone away.
Have you?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I can see you there. I'm in the background. Look.
In the background?
Yeah.
You are there.
People say that Eric and I make a handsome couple. Well, I'm handsome and he makes up the couple.
Dave?
Yeah.
What did you reckon
Can you
to
hear me?
that one?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, you can hear me. That's good.
Yes. You actually sound rather normal.
Normal. You sound like a normal human being, Dave.
Oh, that's because I've had a bit of a rewire.
Have you? Have you?
Yes, I've been rebuilding my studio for the last I don't know how many weeks. So every week is a bit of a bodge, to be entirely honest, to see if it'll work.
Ooh.
Bodger.
So you're really telling me on the first day that we go onto YouTube, I nearly said the B word thing because it was you doing
Boob tube.
No.
If I should wear my boob tube.
I
I don't think anybody wants to see that, Lee.
No, they don't. If we're going on to just about every other thing, is there a social media network on Mars?
I don't know, but
Mumsnet.
we're probably on it if there is.
Yeah, we probably are on it already.
Yeah.
And right now we're on just about everything going. From Picasso, Xbox, you now. I can't do it in Russian, so I'm going to have to do Dobry Den, because it's more like a Dobre Den, to our friends in Russia on OK.
Dobry Den.
Yes, and our friends on, what's that old-fashioned thing?
Sputnik.
No, Tune In, that's old-fashioned.
Tune in.
That's old-fashioned now.
Right,
Oh, yes,
don't
but
like
we still
Tune In now.
use TuneIn. That's more than we can say for other broadcasters.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. We do like to be nice to our older listeners, and so therefore we...
Dave's on the show now. You don't have to.
Dave?
I'm going to come over there and give him a slap.
Yeah. You'll be able to catch me.
Want to bet?
He can run fast. That's the bad news. I've got to lean across because I can't see with the sun in my eyes.
Hey.
Hey, what? Oh,
Hey.
what?
You just stole my picture.
I did, didn't I? Hello to Kev. And hi... Ula.
Ula. Is the last name Oop?
No.
Ula Oop.
We have a young lady from Spain on the programme as well now, doing what they do naturally. And welcome to a bunch of people in Luton who are currently listening or watching on... Oh, no, they're watching on you now.
Ooh, you better behave.
Oh,
I got to put my cup up.
Just wave. Oh, dear. Anyway, Dave, how's your week been? How many telly channels you been to?
How many telly channels on channel? 2 this week.
Oh, flipping heck.
That's not many. What have you been to this week?
Well, I went to another Pointless. I really just don't have any life, really. And yesterday I spent a fun hour and a half wandering around the TV centre in Wood Lane, looking at all the ITV daytime stuff. So, like Good Morning Britain's and
But did you get
This
to
Morning.
park in the Horseshoe?
Well, I didn't actually drive up there. I went on the train, so it was a bit difficult to park a tube train there because it would have made a terrible mess.
Well, that's very true.
Just as a matter of interest, do you know how much it costs to go and see the Harry Potter thing at Elstree Studios?
No.
They're not at Elstree.
£45 per person.
That's why I said no.
What?
They're not there.
Where are they?
They're at Leavesden, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I was at Elstree earlier in the week and they weren't there then.
No, that's true. They weren't there.
You said on Wednesday they were at Elstree.
No.
When our lovely friend was talking about the fact that she'd been there. You said she'd been to Elstree.
Did I say Elstree?
Yeah, you did see, so it was him who misled me, Dave, not you.
Right, okay. Anyway, we better get on with this. Mitchell says, afternoon, Poprad. Hello,
Afternoon.
Mitchell.
Hello, Mitchell.
Are you well?
Who's Mitchell?
That's Michelle.
Ah.
Then he got upset with me because I pronounced it all wrong.
Oh, right. Is he called Michelle?
No, it's really Mitchell.
Mitchell. Is he male or female?
Male.
So don't call him Michelle then, that's rude.
No, and he always argues with Steve Mann all the time.
Oh, good on you, Mitchell. Michelle.
Anybody who argues with Steve Mann's a friend of ours.
Oh, poor Steve, bless him.
Why?
Bless
Poor
him.
Steve.
Why?
Yeah. Why?
Why are you R-ing him?
Well, because, you know, he gets so lost.
He does, he's a bit, he needs
He needs a very tender hand to keep him moving along.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And,
so what you say, you feel sorry for Steve Mann?
Well,
He deserves sympathy.
Oh, ha, Mitchell. Do you know what he just put on the screen?
What?
Erica.
And Leanne.
Yeah, and Leanne. Yeah. And
Davina.
Davina. That works. Anyway, let's go with the programme, boys and girls. At last, the summer wine actress Julie Kaplan has died at the age of 80. She was the long-suffering lady who was trying to thwart her husband having an affair. And her character was just so brilliant, and Pearl was her name.
Pearl Sibshaw.
Yeah, she was this wiry little character, and you could understand... No, you shouldn't do. You could kind of get why her husband didn't like being bullied by her, and there was looking for another partner. But poor old Pearl was forever chasing around after her husband to make sure that he wasn't doing naughty things. And every time he came home, she would throw the pinny around him and make him wash up. Typical northern lass there. Oh, that's just upset everybody. Anyway, a typical northern lass who bullied...
You can't call her a northern lass because she's from Yorkshire. I'm a northerner.
Still north.
Well,
So you're a north. So you put the pinny on to do the washing.
I don't put anything on, so I do it in the nude.
In the buff.
No, not in the bath. No,
In the bath?
In the sink.
Oh, sorry, we got to change the... Have you got a northern alphabet yet, Dave?
I'm still working on it. Can I just break in with something that is breaking news?
Yes, please.
If you're up in Manchester, I understand the Manchester Arndale shopping centre has been evacuated after an incident, and
Right.
4 people are being treated for injuries and reports of a number of stabbings. So if you're in the Manchester area, I would stay away from the Arndale Centre for the time being. More news as I get it. Sorry about that.
Interesting, because the Arndale Centre really is...
It's massive.
Well, it's massive. It's the hub of the centre of Manchester.
Yeah.
And I actually covered when it was blown up a couple of decades ago. I actually covered it. And it really is just a place that is such an obvious target. Absolutely terrible. Somebody's knocking at the door.
Probably Stefan.
Should we go and see?
Yeah, I think we should.
There's somebody at the door.
Oh, look at that. Who mended that studio?
I can't help it. He weighs a ton. Hi to the people on YouTube. I'm trying to find, at the moment, because this is all very new, and we're not actually on the YouTube page as such. We've got some other very sophisticated stuff running around, and it's all a bit new to me at the moment, but I will get there, I promise you.
How do we find it? I can't even find you on YouTube, but I don't think anybody else has got much chance.
Well, they have, because they're there watching.
Well, what do I need to type in?
You go to YouTube,
Yes.
and you type Radio Tatras.
Right, yeah, okay, done that. And the top one comes up Uncle Dave Rhodes on RTI.
No. No, you want the channel, not the videos.
Oh, hang on. All right.
Got it? Are we there now?
Was he looking for us on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah, still can't find it.
Oh.
There's loads of tubes.
Oh,
isn't there?
hello, Zanita.
Do we know Zanita?
We do, we love her.
Who is she?
She's a lovely lady, Zanita.
Give me more description.
No, I won't, because you'll be leching after her, because she's such a beautiful lady.
Have I met her?
Unfortunately, yes.
Where did I meet her?
I'm not telling you.
Zanita, will you just tell me who you are and where I met you? Do you know Zanita, Stefan?
No, I didn't know. Hello, everybody. I am late, but I'm here.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Did he bring a note?
Yeah, he did bring a note. Mitchell, it is there because I'm looking on the screen and it's showing me there, and people is watching it. People is watching it. He's stolen my cup. Boys and girls, he's stolen.
And your picture.
He's stolen my cup and my camera. And guess what on? Hello, Stefan.
Hello.
Everybody, hello.
Gosh, he's loud, isn't he?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right now.
Just the way you dress.
We turned him down a bit now.
Sorry I am late, but I am here.
Yeah. He did say sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll let him off on this occasion. Just don't do it again.
He's a bit
Okay.
loud now.
Yeah, have you found it yet, Dave?
No.
That'll do.
You have. You must have.
What's he looking for?
I'm
look
looking for our stream.
Look for put
Can't find
into YouTube RTI Poprad.
All right. That's
RTI Poprad. Here we go.
I bet he is looking on Rude Tube, isn't he?
He probably is.
Don't look on Rude Tube. You don't want what you'll see.
No, that's true. Because that's very naughty. But I can.
Aha!
Oh, he's got it.
That was an Alan Partridge moment. Yes, I found you.
You found us. So if we wave to you now on the cameras, you can see us all waving to you. Yes.
What is that by your left elbow, Eric?
That's me.
No,
My mum left.
there's something by the monitor. It looks
white.
well. It's got a pattern on it of some description, but I can't tell what it is.
A pattern.
No. Your elbow. That's your hand, dear boy. Your
Oh,
elbow-
on my elbow. Oh, right. I'm with you now.
Move round. There's a screen in the bottom of the left-hand side of the shot, and so if you turn 45 degrees.
Yes, I've done that, and I've just picked it up for you. What he's talking about, boys and girls, is a baseball cap.
Ah, I can see it now. I could only see the top of it.
And you've also got one, I think. Well, you didn't.
No,
get
I
one.
didn't.
You didn't get one.
Oh, didn't you get one?
No, because Mr. Roscoe only brought two, and so Dave didn't get one.
Next time I'm having dinner with him at his Hollywood home, I'll mention you didn't get a baseball cap, Dave.
That would be awesome. Thank you very much.
Oh, which reminds me, I've got a phone in for you, haven't I, Dave? Anyway,
Yes.
shall we do some more news?
Yes,
If you want.
sorry.
Because see people driving down the road in their cars are going to go, what are they on about?
Yeah.
Did we pass already all dead people, or are
No,
we
we're
still
still
doing
doing
dead
dead
people?
people.
Okay.
We haven't got
Right,
that
we've got
far
a
yet,
bit,
Stefan.
Okay.
We haven't got anywhere yet.
You know what funeral we have today? What great funeral we have today.
Go on.
Yeah, Carl got
It's his funeral today. Where is it? In Bratislava?
No, in Prague.
In Prague.
He's Czech.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
Czech.
of course he is. Yes, of course. Let me just say very quickly, as I've not mentioned the ConsumerWatchFoundation.com, that actually, if you want to hear an amazingly in-depth discussion about Karel Gott, listen to Slovak Voices at 11 p.m. this Sunday on the redoubtable RTI.FM. Him, Stefan, has a lot to say. And so does Roman. I ask insightful questions.
There you go. You can't argue with that, can you?
No.
Can you argue with that? No, you can't
I'm
argue.
having the camera back.
What, have I nicked it again?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You've got a great face for radio. Stop being on television.
Look, it won't come.
No, it's because it's on the Star, you see. If I watch this, boys and girls, what I'm going to do, if you're in your car, I'm going to lean back. Lee's then going to put his cup up, and I will describe what happened. I am now leaning back.
I am sticking my cup up,
And he's sticking his cup up.
and nothing's happening.
It is on one of them. One of them's already gone. The people on you now can see nothing but you.
Good, that's the way it should be.
Is that right?
Here I come.
And now the other camera is now automatically zooming into Lee, which I will move and get them all back again over to my side of this.
To the prettier side of the studio.
Prettier
yeah.
side of the studio, that's the one.
Anyway,
Anyway,
listening on the radio, this is making no sense whatsoever.
so that's no new news then,
Yeah, not really.
because it never does anyway. So, I mean, what's the point?
Eric equipped studio with 2 web cameras which follow
Yeah.
the faces. So
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
so the boys over here are playing with the cameras.
But in fact, they even had you confused yesterday, we didn't, when it followed you around.
Yeah. I went to the studio and actually we have a live feed on you now.
Yeah.
And I was on you now for a while, and the cameras were following me, and it was quite funny.
Well, no, because he said, well, why are they not moving? Well, it's because they're digital.
Yeah.
They're not mechanical.
Oh, he thought the cameras had moved.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Stefan. Are we doing Freddie Bannister then?
Hang on.
Oh, God. Oh, what now?
Oh.
Should we just throw the scripts away?
Yes, well. You're never going to believe this.
Go on then.
Facebook had just chucked us off for a minute, so I'm just reconnecting.
Why have they chucked us off?
I have no idea.
It's because of you.
It's me, yeah.
You. They hate you.
I know they do.
They like me at the moment.
I think they hate me beyond belief at the moment. I put a note on. This is a good one. I put a note on Facebook this morning saying you can find us on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they accused my post of being spam.
Really?
Yeah. And I had to argue with them. Have you stopped messing now?
Yeah, just leave things alone.
Yeah.
You're not at home.
Yeah.
I'm behaving now.
Now we can't hear you properly because you've moved it away from your mouth.
Oh, I am behaving now.
I'm going to do it like that as well then. Is that okay?
Are you going to be all... Dave, can you be all butch as well?
Yeah, let's be all
I can be all
butch.
butch if you like.
Can you really?
Yes.
Go on then.
Hello to more people.
Let's see who can do the deepest voice.
Oh, I've got bad news for Facebook.
Oh, what?
It would appear when they turned us off, but we're back on again now. Loads of people went to YouTube. Because I could see it all on my screen as it happens. It's quite funny, really.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let's do that, people, because I see something Led Zeppelin.
Oh, okay. Freddie Bannister, the guy that helped set up concerts in Nebworth with such bands as, and they missed the best one out, Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, and Deep Purple.
Deep Purple were a load of rubbish.
You're doing it on purpose. Because
Hang on, where is
Eric
it?
likes
Hang on, where is it? Let's just find it. There we go. The fader is off.
Oh,
Yeah, but...
And we can just talk over the top of him now. Dave, would you like to say anything?
Well, I could talk about all manner of things. There is.
just a minute, I can hear you.
I wasn't going to be rude about you. Well, not this time.
We went
anyway.
back to his microphone. He was horrible.
Who was?
You.
When?
Just now.
Purple Zeppelin or whatever they call.
I'm going to call Ian Gillan.
Yeah. I'll call PJ Proby or Roger Chapman or...
So you've got the Z-list celebrities and I've got the A-list celebrities.
Yeah. I'll just get... I actually, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on his phone is Bob Dylan's own home number.
Bet it doesn't work.
It does.
Try it.
I'll speak to... Right.
We're all really quite underwhelmed at this point, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we all are, actually. Anyway, great concerts over in Nebworth were organised by Freddie Bannister, and he sadly died at the age of 84. And the one story I remember, he used to get, I don't know if you know this one, he used to get in terrible trouble with the local authority in Stevenage.
For noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he, at the last Purple concert that was set up there, they came in with 7... huge stacks of speakers.
Yeah.
Okay. And Stevenage Borough Council, in their infinite wisdom, said, you're only allowed to run 5.
5? Why 5?
Because 7 was too loud. And so it was John Lord that comes on stage and goes, oh, bleep, 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 Stevenage Borough Council. There's never going to be another festival. Turn the bleep bleeping lot on and let's rock. And I seriously, I was about 50 metres back from the stage, stood up, and when they turned them all on, the ground beneath my feet was vibrating. It was awesome.
I'm just going to phone Bob Dylan. That's why it's making a
not.
noise. I am. I'm going to phone him in a minute. But I just wanted to point out that
Yes.
no, Deep Purple weren't that rubbish. They were just a bit poppy. And but he introduced bands like Pink Floyd, Frank Zappa, Van Morrison, Roy. Oh no, we don't want to talk about him. Peter Gabriel and Captain Beefheart.
But
Right, I'm going to ring Bob.
Lee, do you realize it is 7:30 morning in
America.
USA?
Bob won't have gone to bed yet.
Okay. Your call.
I'm waiting for this to go to the microphone. That's what I'm waiting for. Captain Barry Dickinson, wonderful guy actually, was master of the store ship, the Stromness, which played an unbelievable role in the Falkland Islands conflict in the 1980s. He's died, and so many of his Royal Marine comrades are, very sad about his loss. He's been a shipmaster all of his life. And what a wonderful man. May he rest in peace, and thank you for all the great work that you did as well. John Haylett, the editor of the Morning Star, who steered the...
Interesting. I thought Steve Mann would be interested in this. Hang on, Bob. I'll get you on air in a minute.
Yeah,
okay,
right. Here we go. Here we go.
No, we're talking about John Haylett. We're talking about John Haylett, Bob. All right.
Bob?
Do you want to word,
Yeah, I can see the screen. It's blank.
It's not. Oh, he's on golf.
Oh, really? Yeah. Was that Bob Holness that hung up? John Haylett, the editor of the Morning Star.
See him upset him.
Yeah, right. I believe that like nut. It's going rather wild over there. It's a news... No, I can't even call it a newspaper.
It was a newspaper. Of course it was a newspaper. It had an opinion. Like all newspapers are not supposed to have, as far as people like Steve Mann are concerned.
It was a communist newspaper.
It was a communist newspaper that the Labour... And that Jeremy Corbyn used to love it. And it had a very strong opinion, because newspapers are not allowed to.
Actually,
anyway.
I did read it once.
It was quite an interesting paper in a strange way.
A guy who I worked with, who was very... Mr. Corbyn and him will get on very well. He had it specially ordered for the newsagents opposite the telephone centre where I worked. So every morning he would go and get the Morning Star. And under union rules, we were allowed to sit in the office for 15 minutes to do our paperwork, which took about 30 seconds.
So it was communicators and communists.
Yes. And I saw this thing. It was the biggest load of dribble I've ever read.
Well, why? Just because you didn't agree with its politics? Why did you condemn it because of its politics?
Because it said that the Kremlin was nice.
Well, they saw the Kremlin as a Byzantine kind of...
No.
A worthy Byzantine nature.
The Kremlin were paying for it, so they were nice to them.
No, they weren't paying for it. That's a complete and utter fallacy.
Yeah.
It was privately run, like all newspapers are, but it had an opinion, and you should respect that opinion.
But it was bankrolled by the USSR.
Well, it probably was, but it still had an opinion.
Which is the Kremlin.
It's had an opinion.
Privately funded.
Privately
all
funded.
Newspapers are.
All the papers are.
This is the point where I don't tell the whole story, but I'm very proud of the fact that I helped Latvian radio stations stay on the air during communist times, broadcasting in Latvian rather than Russian, just so I could shove one up the commies' bottom.
Bottom. Yes.
I don't care. Anyway, stupid newspaper, stupid story. It's bankrupt. It's only kept going by a load of donations from its followers, and they are dying rapidly.
Come on, Steve, what do you think? What do you think about this? This is really interesting news to you.
He ain't there.
Is he not there?
Mm-mm.
Oh, where's Big Ears gone?
I don't know.
Is he in the land of Noddy?
There's lots of them there, and it's all getting a bit silly for me at the moment because I can't keep up.
Oh, you look stressed.
Well, I am, because it's all new software, you see.
Yeah.
And the only thing you can do is learn the software effectively live, because to work with chat room software, you need people to be chatting to you.
I'm chatting to you. So's he.
I don't know whether you told already our listeners that we have refitted studio. And actually, it is the first time I am in the studio on a live show.
This is true.
Yeah, and it is very, very cozy. And I can see Eric's in the face, and I can see Lee in the face, and I don't need even glasses to read from the screen, so that's perfect.
Wow.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Oh.
I'm sorry that you have to be able to see Eric and Lee.
Yeah, well, actually, Trevor's already mentioned that. Hi, guys, have you changed the studio around?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Eric did.
And why is there no Rachel? Rachel's on a little sabbatical at the moment, and Dave's sitting in for her.
She should be coming back soon, though.
No, actually, Dave and Rachel are arranging some schedule of events when they're
Careful how you word this. This is...
Yes, I know. I'm thinking Robbie might be there. I'm having to put up with Lee trying to steal the cameras, which is very disconcerting when you're talking, because everything keeps moving around in the corner of my eye.
But only got the back of your head and your big ear.
When you rewired the studio, didn't you put that mains lead up against Lee's chair, so when you hit the button, he gets...
Yeah, but all that happens is he sucks all the power out of the energy system in Poprad, and then they go, we haven't got any more electric for that old boy to keep him going.
I know.
Ah, right, I see.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to move on, because this is the most amazing story. Yeah. Nazarene's daughter, that's Nazarene... What?
No, everything is okay.
Just get on with doing your job.
Oh, it's all right now. Lee's sitting by a computer, and I suddenly realised Stefan's there, which means he's okay because he's got a proper IT person there. Nazarene Radcliffe's daughter, Gabriella, spent the last 3.5 years living in Iran. She's back in the UK with her dad. I'm sure her grandparents are very disappointed with that, as grandparents would be, but she's back where she should be. And that's a consolation, actually, from Tehran, because Tehran wouldn't let her go for a long time. They've now let her go, which means she's travelled back as a single kid, which is quite unusual. And there's something else happening. I don't get it in Tehran.
In what way?
Well, first of all, the second point is not really important, but it is in terms of Iran.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, women have been allowed to go to football matches on their own.
Interesting.
Which for Iran is a culture shock.
But that's nothing to do with
Is it the women's football?
Any football.
Any football.
Yeah.
They were banned from it. But going back to the...
But it will be interesting when they're allowed to go to ice hockey.
In Iran?
Yes.
They haven't got any in Iran.
That's why it would be interesting.
Well, the story we're talking about, Gabriella, is a very moving story, because like her dad has said, it was heartbreaking for this little girl to actually have to leave her grandparents and her mother again. And there has been no proof anywhere that the mother, what she calls Zagan, has actually committed any crime at all.
No,
she's only accused of spying, and she's been put in jail for 5 years after being accused. That's like me saying you're ugly. That doesn't mean you are. It's just an accusation, isn't it? But she is in there, and what Tehran are doing, apart from ruining this woman's life, apart from ruining this family's life, they're actually breaking this child's heart over and over again.
Yep, that's true. Hi to Braxy Jones. Hello, Braxy Jones.
Braxy.
Yes, I don't know where
That's a good name, Braxy.
It's a good name, isn't it? I like that. It's very good. Anyway, as Gabriella's father said, it was a hard goodbye for Nazanin and all of her family, but let's hope this homecoming unlocks other things.
I think it probably will. I think this is the forerunner to something that Iran
this
will
whole
do.
Muslim region is I wouldn't say climbing down, that's wrong. But when you look at Saudi as well, where you've got Saudi women can drive cars, they're actually allowed to go into the armed forces for the first time.
It's
really
change
unusual.
Round, but they still whip people publicly.
Oh yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
You know, there is still
Not very nice people at all.
It's a different world. It's a different culture. It's got different ideas and different ways of handling things. But some things are just beyond the pale. And I think what's happening to this little girl is beyond the pale.
Yep. Hi to Emma, who's joined us as well.
Emma, do we know Emma?
Eva.
Eva?
Yeah.
She's not called Eva. She's called Eva.
All right. You can't win, can you, boys and girls?
So in that case, Roman is Wally.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. I'm just so happy that there's a Slovak original in the building. You know, because if I say something to him, he goes, no, you don't know. But now I've got a Slovak person in the building. You can correct him every time.
A Slovak person who actually happens to have small kids who are watching Disney and Pixar movies, so I can actually make fun of Eva and Wally.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get the joke now. But this Slovak voice is on Sundays at 11 p.m. on RTI FM on Slovak Voices.
And the voice
That's the second plug for that.
Yeah.
And I haven't mentioned my show once yet.
That's true.
Tell us what your show is, Dave. For
Dave.
Isn't Dave actually
Dave, don't let him know that he hasn't got a trail yet for Slovak Voices. So during the week, when we have the promotions for shows, he doesn't show up.
Can I actually...
That's okay then.
Can I explain why I don't have a trail for it?
Go on then.
Because that nice Mr. Eric Wiltshire, who put cool edits and other things on my machine, put them on in a way that don't work.
They do.
Cool
They do not. And also, the man who got me to download...
He does use Cool Edit, Dave.
Who got me to download a program so I could do more promotional work for various things. It doesn't work.
Well, that'll be you again then. Good afternoon.
Hugger.
It's Judith.
Hugger.
Yeah, Judita.
Ah, Judita. I love you, Judita.
Got a lovely picture on Facebook now.
I haven't brought me no. Has your boat sunk, Judita?
Nobody's understanding that either.
It's between me and Judita. It's our secret joke. It's our love affair.
Really?
Sunken boat.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than fallen arches.
Dear,
What did you want to say?
Yeah, I want to say something, and you're still... how it's called? Cutting me
Oh,
off.
hang on. That's the third camera I've got to wave to.
Oh, hang on.
Third camera. That doesn't move.
Yeah.
Third camera. We've only got 3 cameras in here now, Dave.
Only 3? Oh, that's good.
Eric, yesterday when I came with a visit over here to the studio, I told you that this is a really nice voice in the speakers. Somebody had a show. Is it Dave's voice, which I heard yesterday?
No.
Okay, you have nice voice. I like your voice, Dave.
Oh, you pulled Dave. You pulled.
I pushed it.
Oh, Dave.
Oh.
Leo, a lot of you.
Yeah. Anyway, Northern California's been hit by mega power cuts after
Isn't this
wildfire fears. Yeah, it is incredible. Go on, you tell the story.
Well, the power companies are cutting electricity to 800,000 homes, businesses and everything else in Northern California in an attempt to prevent wildfires. It's such large swathes of, particularly the San Francisco Bay Area, are having the power cut, that everything is falling into disarray because
but
of
you're
it.
only going to light a barbecue then, which is going to have sparks on it,
Well,
which causes a fire.
In a way, you know what?
What?
The facetiousness of that didn't escape me, but actually it's a very, very good point. Yeah, I actually witnessed similar thing. It wasn't to do with fires, sorry. It was to do with saving energy in Delhi, where we sat on the balcony, we watched parts of the city be shut down power-wise, no lights, no television, nothing for ages. And it was absolutely horrendous to be caught in that. And now in the land of plenty, they're having to shut down power to houses to stop the place going up in flames.
Yeah,
Does that make sense, really?
I get the point.
The electric goes through a tube. It doesn't go, it's not something...
But the trouble is, if you've got dodgy substations, which can sometimes create sparks, and in America you've got substations in the most remote places, because they still have a duty of care, effectively, to supply the log cabins and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
You get one spark from those substations, you have another fire.
Well, why shut down cities? Why not? Why
Because
not
it all
just shut down?
You can't do just one little bit. The whole thing goes.
But in Delhi, they did. They did sections.
Yeah, but
of the
listen,
city.
when they did sections of the city in Delhi, they just pulled a plug out.
That's terrible.
But
I
it's true.
apologise to you, Delhi, for that remark.
It's true.
I remember blackouts in 2004 in New York and all East Coast, and it was really, really nice experience. Mostly because we were forced to walk from Manhattan to the Brooklyn where I was living, and it was a really nice walk. And I was walking with a girl who told me that she never walked that long for her lifetime. And I was like, okay, when I am going with my wife to a shopping center, I walk more.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, what we can expect in 9 months is increased number of potential voters.
Yeah.
You see,
And Trevor's made a good comment as well. Most of the power lines are overground as well.
That's interesting. I didn't realise that.
You got. This is the problem in America.
Yeah.
That the infrastructure is not that bad and it's not that old, but to get to the places they need to get to, they can't dig. Into granite mountains, for example, to put underground cables in. They just can't do it.
Yeah, good point.
I know that I'm not on a technical point, but from what I said, I just think that power cutoffs and power blackouts are actually good for democracy then.
Yes. Yeah, very good.
More voters,
actually, do you know what?
democracy.
Dave's very lucky.
Aye.
You are, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Am I?
Yeah. Because you're on the same power circuit as the local hospital, do you?
Ooh.
I'm not sure I am now.
Yeah.
Who knows? But, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Mann has joined the building, or joined the show.
Has he?
Yes.
Hey, Steve, tell us what you think about the Morning Star shutting.
Sorry I'm late. Had to help a blind friend. Good on you.
Good on you. Tell us what you think about the Morning Star being closed, mate.
Yeah, he's not being closed.
Well, it's gone bankrupt.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, no, the serious point about where Dave lives is there is a hospital there, and they will burn cables out rather than take the power off to the hospital, which is in the same area as Dave.
Yeah.
And where we used to live collectively,
Me and you.
yeah, that part of Poprad is in the same position.
Oh, right.
That's why the power very rarely goes off there. And yet this side of Poprad and up into Velka, where Stefan and I live now, you will get power outages. They'll...
Yeah, we had power outage just last weekend.
Last weekend, yes. Last Saturday, I think it was.
It doesn't happen often over here.
No. Pardon me.
They were much more frequent in the United States, where I live.
Yeah, but they were more frequent here years ago.
Yeah, of course.
Because when I first came here, it was very common.
Into infrastructure.
I'd be running in and out of studios every week with the power going out. But these days, no, not so much, touch wood. Anyway, we move on. Trump has been defending his, which I think is indefensible, saying that he just left the Kurds to get on with it because I don't need them anymore, so I'm just going to throw you to the wind.
And they didn't help us with Normandy.
No.
What an idiot.
What an absolute nutcase
What
he
a
is.
chump Trump is.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting developments with Brexit, and not the ones you might think are interesting. The Irish Taoiseach and the British Prime Minister have had a good chat. it looks like they've come up with a deal, possibly.
Well, it's not they've come up with a deal. They've seen a way towards a deal, let's say.
Yeah,
Be fair.
but the interesting thing is that the European Commission has now said the current negotiator, whatever his name is,
Varadkar.
No, the other one.
Oh, which one then?
One beginning with B.
Barmer.
No, not Barmer.
Barnier.
Thank you.
I haven't got my glasses on.
All right. The European Commission has said that Barnier no longer has the scope to work on Boris Johnson's proposals. And Mr. Barnier must now seek room for manoeuvre from leaders in order to kickstart the formal negotiations with the UK, which leads me to think, as I have said so many times before, eventually the members of the EU will go, look, we don't love what you're doing as a negotiator, we're fed up with you, we'll do it ourselves.
And an interesting development.
Yes?
He said, sitting on the pointy end at this end, the EU 27 have now given the green light for tunnel negotiations, whatever that means.
Which means Mr. Barnier has lost his plot.
Well, it means it's focused, doesn't it? But also, what everybody's
and Leo Varadkar as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he was complaining about there being a deal with Brexit because he wanted a no deal, and so the two protagonists. We've had three protagonists, all barring Jean-Claude Juncker, who said, we want and need a deal.
But why do we not feel that Ben's law has actually put pressure on them to get to this situation?
No, because he doesn't have any pressure.
Well, he does, really,
no,
doesn't it?
The EU it makes no difference.
Not to the EU, no. I'm talking about Boris having to get to a position where he can start some kind of proper negotiations. I know I'm going to be shot for this, but I still think that Boris has really taken the bull by the horns on this, rightly or wrongly, but he stood by his guns and done something. Ben's law is something that could.
I don't believe that for a minute, because the EU have got it's nothing to do with the EU.
Yeah.
What I was, shall we say, slightly neutral until I went through that documentary that was shot. And the minute I heard the assistant of Varadkar saying, "Ha ha ha! You really know how to shut them Tories up, don't you?" The minute she said that, that was just a shock.
I know.
Because it was so biased politically. And then when I started to analyse the other bits, I'm going, hang on a minute. This is nothing to do with Brexit. This is politics. It's your stance on politics.
That's why we've spent 3 years getting nowhere. Because it's all to do with politics, and it's all to do with posturing. And
Thank you very much indeed.
Nothing to do with the English people. It's to do with people trying to make something out of this, that make political gain.
Out of something that wasn't there.
Yeah.
I want to contribute to the discussion as well. And in regards
to...
hang
on, I've got to say thank you to Debs.
Debs.
Say thank you to Debs.
Thank you, Debs.
Thank you, Debs.
Thank you.
Debs has invited 248 of her friends to join the programme.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Debs.
Thank you, Debs.
Anyway, in regards to Jean-Claude Juncker and my age group, there is only Jean-Claude we actually like, and it's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, yeah, I agree with that. One for Lee coming up, and I do hope, and I genuinely do hope there is a deal, because I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that as a UK person. I'm actually saying that as a European person.
Yeah, I think
I've been so into Europe since I can't remember not being in Europe. And I don't mean that politically. I mean as a European person. I won't use the term. I don't think of it in the terms of a citizenship. I think of it as I am a European person.
And I want to be a European.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's great for all of them to actually get that far. And I think what it will also do, a great thing for the EU if this comes off, because it will make the power-hungry people in Brussels realise that their paymasters, the members, actually don't want what they want.
I think that's a very good point.
Because if they turn that round, it's completely destroying that little group of, I don't know what you call them, well, dictators very close to it. Anyway, one for Lee. This is just for Lee, because it's the Royal Mint has produced a brand new payment card.
Yeah, right.
It's made of solid gold.
Yeah.
And it costs nearly £20,000. It's in 18-carat gold.
Yeah, right, okay.
The good news is, once you've bought the card, there are no fees afterwards.
Oh, right, yeah. So if you have it for only a year, it's cost you £2,000 a week.
No, because you can just keep it going. They've worked with MasterCard, and actually, it costs $18,750. But the bottom line is, you can have this card for as long as you like. Once you've paid your $20,000, which presumably means that MasterCard are getting a kickback as well. I wouldn't be at all surprised. And you will not get the monthly fees.
I think
that's unless you go overdrawn, of course.
I think that is the most ludicrously insulting idea that the Royal Mint could possibly come up with.
Why?
That because we're in a state of flux financially, and for them to come up to celebrate something by saying, this is a really exciting project, joining the outstanding heritage of the Royal Mint and MasterCard on payment innovation. What's payment innovation about?
Steve Mann's
for 20 grand.
Steve Mann is going to love this.
Yeah, you can afford it.
No, he's going to love it, because when you get 20 grand off the people that can afford 20 grand, because it's the Royal Mint, it goes into the British government.
Yeah.
So what it is a clever taxation on rich people.
But there's
clever
not that
taxation.
many people who are going to do it, is there? There are not many people who are going to get one. What? Oh.
Debs has said, thank you for the acknowledgement. You're very welcome, Debs. And not only that, Debs is recording the show.
Oh, thank you, Debs. What are you going to do with it, darling?
Deb, actually, you can download the show, I think, later on.
You can. On Spreaker as well.
Yeah. But I don't think that it is right. The number of people who are
but
going
don't
to
forget
have
that
this
20
card,
grand is going into the government
yeah,
coffers.
but there's not that many people going to. It's not going to make any difference.
But it's taking money from the rich and giving it to the government. You see?
Well, the rich can afford it, but you shouldn't actually. This is not a good PR exercise at this moment to be pandering to what are seen as the rich and the.
I don't think it's lovely. I'd have one. If I'd got 20 grand, I'd have one.
Why? What benefit would there be? It's just showing off. It's just
because it is. It's just like, but you've got an ego bigger than mine.
Because I'm special.
Speaking of numbers, Eric, did you actually tell our listeners great numbers you actually told us?
No, we can't.
No,
we can't.
I'm sorry, but we have really great numbers.
Yeah. Dave, if you had the money, would you buy one of them credit cards?
No.
Why not?
Can't see the point, really.
I agree with you, Dave. What is the point? It's just showing off.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
there is no point in having one of these whatsoever, other than you're giving MasterCard and the Royal Mint a large wedge of cash.
Yeah.
Well, I once held a card with my name on it as it goes, and I could have bought a brand new car with it.
You can put, if you got the money in the bank, you could go and buy it anyway. You don't have to spend £20,000.
Yeah, but if I took the money out of the bank, there'd be a Liverpudlian standing outside robbing me.
Oh, that's terrible. Now, Boris Johnson did that. Remember, the Sun said that.
Yeah.
That's the whole of Liverpool. We've just lost the whole of Liverpool. No, I wear a lot of gold. I've always worn a lot of gold. And there's one reason I wear a lot of gold is that's because, like a pirate, if I die out of port, I can be buried.
Very true. The Bank of England has warned Facebook that its global digital currency is probably not going to work unless they sort a whole bunch of things out. I love this, and I'm very proud of the people that did it. 13 unknown soldiers who died fighting in Belgium during the First World War will be laid to rest today. Actually, today.
I don't get that. 13 unknown soldiers are going to be laid to rest. I'm not knocking the premise behind the story.
Well, what they did is they were building a new properties. They found a bomb crater. They excavated the bomb crater to find the corpses of British, French, German, and South African people.
Yeah, sorry, right.
And then they are being officially buried.
That
and I
is a
think
good
that's
thing.
a really wonderful thing to do. And I'm having to run through things because we're running out of time.
Yeah, well,
Newcastle United have got really upset with Jeremy Corbyn.
Are you listening, Mr. Man?
Oh, are they upset or what?
Naughty Jeremy.
Because he said all sorts of naughty. Oh my word! I can't. Mitchell and Steve, I can't keep up with you. Doesn't matter. Anyway, Newcastle United, have got very upset because Jeremy Corbyn was attacking the owner of the football club. They made it very clear that the owner, as in Mike Ashley, does not draw a salary from the football club.
No, he just
gets
puts
nothing.
money into it.
He can get his loans repaid, and then we move on to why this started off. Under new Labour Party plans, a Labour government would, get this, legislate to give supporters trusts the power to appoint and remove at least 2 new members of the club's board of directors. So even though they're not put any money in, they're like a legislative board.
Yeah, incredible. Is it not really one of the most silly things that old Jezza has done at the time when he's calling for a general election?
It gets better.
Yeah, but listen.
No. This is the best one.
I've got to say this.
Go on.
Right, he has alienated by trying to win over the football community of this country. An idiot. Carry on, tell me what you want to say.
Yeah, I'll put my teeth in, Steve. You're absolutely right. And I think Dave will probably know the answer to this one. A lot of money from the television rights from the Premier League is already diverted off to grassroots football.
Yeah.
So why then is Mr Corbyn asking them to take 5% of the income into grassroots, which is probably less than what they put in now?
Because he's a knob.
True. The ticket tout things, I'm agreeing with you, Jeremy, on that one. I'm agreeing with you that there should be a ban on ticket touts.
Of course he should.
I couldn't agree with you more.
It's illegal.
Yeah, absolutely. And the access for disabled people these days is getting a lot better. It's got nothing to do with the Equality Act. Clubs did it on their own back, really. Germany shooting. There was 2,200 people watched it on Twitch. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of a YouNow and other things, and it's typically for gamers. And the whole thing was absolutely disastrous. Twitch have said that the account was opened a few months ago. They'd only seen it live once. Da-di-da-di-da. The Extinction Rebellion. I take deep. Dave, you're in London. What's it like?
Well, I was in London yesterday. I never saw anything, which I thought was quite a good avoiding of everything. But when they were encamped in Oxford Circus earlier in the year, it was
smelly.
Chaos. Yes.
Smelly?
It was smelly, yes. They set up their own little portable toilets in the middle of Oxford Street in the road.
Which is totally illegal.
Well, yes. And the thing with this is I saw a friend of mine posted on Facebook last night. He got a photo of the chap that had glued himself to the top of a plane and causing absolute mayhem at London City Airport yesterday. And people were just trying to go and do their own business and bits and pieces, and it's causing mayhem. This is nuts.
It's actually
there are better ways of getting your point across. I'm sure there are.
Well, I think the funniest one was I think it was Piers Morgan who interviewed the founder of this thing, and he said, "Have you got a phone? Have you got a tablet? Have you got a computer? Have you got this? Have you got a television at home?" And she wouldn't answer him. She actually wouldn't answer him. And what he was saying is, don't be a hypocrite. Because if you've got all these electronic gadgetry things, you're actually using the electricity you're saying to people don't use.
one of the funny things.
It's ridiculous.
Well, one of the funny things, and
McDonald's, that was even better.
McDonald's, yeah, and everybody's certain people are on here now. We're trying to defend them by saying, well, at least protesters have to eat too. But yes, but if you're making a protest about a specific thing, then what you don't do is go and shoot yourself in the foot. There are plenty of other places you could have eaten, and people say, well, they sell McDonald's sell vegetarian burgers. Well, they do, but it's proved this week, and they must have read about it in the press that they don't read, that McDonald's don't actually make any. They don't have a griddle just for the vegetarian food.
No, it's the same.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a big mistake.
We are getting short on time. I've got to cut you short because shock of the week. You ready? I'm going to agree with Steve Mann.
Ooh.
Dum, dum, dum.
Steve says access to football grounds may be improving, but it's still not good enough. And do you know what, Steve? I totally agree. There are one or two grounds in the Premier League that have worked really hard and in the Championship, but there's a lot more that needs to be done. And I don't mean somebody who's just sort of broken their little finger and thinks they should get in for free. I mean people who are genuinely disabled, they're in wheelchairs, and one of the groups that must get access simply are blind people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't know if anybody knows this, but in a lot of football grounds, and certainly the ones that I went to, they will have a blind commentator in the ground for blind people. And they love the experience. They can feel the experience. And there should be much more of that as well, Steve.
How does a blind commentator work? I'm not being factious over this. How does a blind commentator work? How does that
They
work?
sit there and talk like they're on the radio.
Yeah, but how do they know what's happening? I'm not being rude, really.
No, they are sighted.
Ah, sorry, right.
They're sighted and they commentate for the people
blind people.
there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, Steve. It may not be a hypocritical thing to do that in the main, but we agree there are renewable energy sources in the UK now, but for the vast majority of the energy, it comes from fossil fuel. So when they drive the car, get on a plane, yada, 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 and unless you're in a specific area of the UK, because if you look at it logically, you can actually see the areas where renewable energy is used. Unless you're actually specifically there, you are using fossil fuel energy, and I bet half of them wouldn't even know which areas they were in.
Exactly.
But that's just the way life goes. Apple's removed an app, I'm going to crank through the news, that was helping protesters find out where the police were going. The big story for broadcasting this week is that Lord Hall and the BBC have been absolutely lambasted by Ofcom.
And Jeremy Clarkson.
And Jeremy Clarkson at the same time, which I think is wonderful. And they're actually going to, Ofcom are going to go and see the BBC to make sure that the transparency that they promised they would do will happen. Yeah. Mr. Ofcom, they will never, ever do it. Never, ever, ever.
About it, but they won't do it.
A group of MPs has called for the government and the BBC to work together to restore free TV licences for the over 75s. No, you don't have to talk to the government. The BBC agreed for the licence fees for the over 75 in exchange for the new licence charter to go through. They agreed it a few years ago. Mr. Hall said it was a great deal for the BBC. He has now reneged on it.
Exactly. Should we talk about Glastonbury?
Well, I've got one for the Anorex first.
Oh, go on then.
The new owners of... Oh, you'll like this as well. Okay. The new owners of HMV have set up plans to expand. There's going to be new shops selling vinyl.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
Dave.
Yeah?
New shops selling vinyl.
I think that's good.
What?
Vinyl's the new thing. I was sitting in a bar last night with a ex-work colleague who is in his early 20s, and he has a massive vinyl collection, and vinyl is the big thing now.
It's been a big thing for the last decade.
Exactly.
He's never been a DJ, has he?
Well, no, that's the thing. He hasn't had to look all around. So vinyl is great to listen to at home in controlled conditions.
Yes.
I don't know why, but actually I know why we were working with Lee on a show about rebels and whatnot. Actually, one of the bands we were supposed to play over there, punk band from Poprad, they released last year an new album, and they put it only on vinyl, which is shock for me as well. Just as a collector's thing.
I think that's it. It's the record companies making money out of people. Right, on that happy note, I have one message for Paul Rustling, who's probably listening, because he's always complaining about the internet speeds. There's been research done in the UK. Hull, where Paul lives, has the fastest internet connections in the UK across the whole city. So no. And Diana Ross is going to play at Glastonbury. That's it. We got there. Dave, what are you up to this weekend?
I'm going to go get some new tyres on the car.
Oh,
that's expensive.
That's also very boring.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, don't say that about him.
Well, I don't know how you do that. I've never done it.
Well, you never got new tyres on your car?
Well, not since I've lived in Slovakia, no.
Right, how long have you been here? 15 years? You still got the same old tyres?
Yeah.
Oh dear, you really ought to get those changed.
Well, actually, no, I've gone through 3 cars since I've been here.
And swap the tyres?
But I don't ever change the tyres. I get my PA to do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a lazy git.
Yeah.
Stefan?
Okay, tonight we have board game night, so I have a bunch of friends, so we will have some wine and whatnot. So yeah, great weekend for a geek.
So he's being boring about, like, changing
You haven't got time to talk that.
Boring about
Come on, you've got
games.
literally 10 seconds.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, bye-bye from me as well.
Bye-bye.
Thanks ever so much, everybody. Have a great week till next week. We're going back to the Never More Than a Minute Away from Music. Don't forget Dave's show is here on a Thursday. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
You're never more than a minute away from the music on RTI.